Hey guys, it looks like I finally got it all straightened out here. I guess I'm Green Irene. How y'all doing? This is the Sunday night sesh bud break. Time to wrap up the week or get the next week started. Wrap up the weekends. Just kind of time to unwind and say, hey, it's been a hell of a week, and what fresh new stuff is in store for next week, right? How y'all doing out there? I've just got a couple more things I apparently have to set up here, and it's only going to take a couple of moments. So bear with me. I also have my joint. I am enjoying tonight. What am I enjoying? I am enjoying Sweet OG. Very, very nice strain. In fact, probably one of my favorites when it comes to a nice muscle relaxant, because it's one of those strains that really does reduce muscle tension. It really helps you kind of mellow out and get into that zone of being sleepy, if you will. Right? Great strain. Since I'm done getting this stuff set up, I will let's try that again. That didn't work. So let's try that. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get my my show out to everybody now. And because there's been a problem the last couple of weeks. I got in trouble from YouTube. YouTube does require that we not promote specific cannabis products. It's very difficult for cannabis for anybody in the cannabis industry to promote themselves in any way, shape, or form. So if you are a product, let's say you grow Sweet OG as a micro grower and you want to promote, you can't. If you have a store, you can't. You can. There's a lot of restrictions, and you've got to get really, really, really creative. As you can imagine, I've been, trying, and in my efforts, there we go. I think I got everything done the way I'm supposed to have it done now. Running the boards yourself is a real challenge. It's different. And, I've been doing it for a while. As you all know, I did it with Pace for a long time. And then, let's try. I don't understand what's going on here. I'm not able to get it out. Why am I having such a hard time getting it out to everybody? Let's see if I do it this way. Yeah, I know. I hate doing this. Sorry, guys. This is awful, isn't it? But I promise you it. So what's everybody else enjoying tonight? What have you been enjoying for the last few weeks? I've been enjoying all kinds of different strains. In fact, for volumes 4 and 5 of Bud Break, I have been, you know what? Let's not do that way. Let me go this way. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and it's all going to work wonderfully. Yes, because I said so. What do you guys think? Oh, for heaven's sakes. It still won't work. I'm having a hard time. So anyway, I guess I basically said in one of my more recent videos, you should go to blah, blah, whatever store it was. And that's against the rules and regulations. I can't tell people to go and get stuff. I can tell you where I got it from. I can tell you what it costs on average, and I can tell you different places you might be able to find it. Might be able to find it is a key word there, because I'm not allowed to say things the other way. It really is kind of crazy. So I do apologize if you haven't been able to keep up with me, and you have been trying. I appreciate your efforts, and thank you very, very kindly for doing so. And I know a lot of you have been catching the after feeds. Thank you. Thank you. Your comments, your private messages have been very encouraging. Makes me want to continue and carry on and keep going. I thank you very much. Let's just see. Look at, guys. I think I am here. Yes. Yes. I think I did what I needed to do. Did I? Yeah, you know what? It's very, very difficult to promote. It's very difficult to promote cannabis or cannabis products, no matter how great they are when you find them, because it's what's the term I'm looking for here? Because it's so heavily regulated, right? So let me tell you a little bit about Sweet OG. Sweet OG is absolutely wonderful. It's a trifecta of 3 different parents, and they're different parents. Oh gosh, you know what? Why don't I share that with you? Let's go find out what the parents are of Sweet OG, shall we? Because I know it's a very unique. There we go. There's some of my info pulling up right away. Let's just see. Okay, so Sweet OG is a hybrid, obviously, if it's got 3 parents, right? And it's between Sweet Tooth and OG Kush. And there is another parent in there somewhere. But it's an amazingly relaxing strain, and it alleviates all those muscle aches and pains and tensions that you may or may not be feeling. I myself, with weather conditions being what they are, I struggle with inflammation, right? It's springtime, so it's cold, it's damp, it's hot, it's humid, and that's all in one day here in Ontario, or so it seems. So that being said, it's nice to have a medicinal herb that I know works. I spent this week, I don't know what anybody else is doing. Oh, I almost forgot to get into comments. Give me a minute there, guys. I'll get into comments. Hello. And I'm going to invite you guys on screen. I want to copy that, and I'm going to post this in the comments. If you'd like to join me on screen, there's the link to do so. It's been posted to both Facebook and YouTube, but it won't go to Instagram. So if you're watching me on Instagram, you got to come over to YouTube or Facebook. Click on the link in the comments, and you can join me on screen. So what else is new? Well, an overview of the week's work. Well, I've been really, really busy with the Healthy Self workshops. You'll hear me call them 2 different ways, and I often ask my audiences when I first arrive, when we first open up. When you saw the marketing, did you read the word as heal thyself, or did you read it as healthy self? Doesn't really matter. There's not a correct answer, but I am always curious to see how individuals perceive that congested word. So I've been working on those and getting those workshops ready. There's some upcoming workshops in future days. Please subscribe to the website at www.greenirene.ca to find out when there's a workshop near you or in your neighborhood, or to get in contact with me to get a workshop happening. It's workshops can vary anywhere from 2 hours to a 6-hour day, depending how much depth we want to get into. If we're just going to gloss over that, here's the tool and contact me or look up the information, that's a quick 2-hour session. And this is how you do it. This is what things are. A 6-hour session is, this is what things are. This is how things work. And let's try it on for size. So that way, while you're trying these new techniques or different tools or practicing with different tools, you can actually try them on for size. And people are there to help you get through. So that's really kind of cool. One of the things that, another thing that I've been working on is, of course, writing yet another book. I'm working on another title on the Info is Power series. So that's coming along. And so hopefully will be published in or around September, October. There's a couple other titles being released before this one that I was working on this week. And one of the things that I was really working dedicated time to this week was isomorphic metaphors. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. My joint keeps going out. Maybe because I keep talking. But isomorphic metaphors, I don't know if you guys know what those are. Everybody knows what a metaphor is, right? An isomorphic kind of is very specific. It's almost one-to-one. So the metaphor can be related to one-to-one with the problem at hand or with the challenge at hand. It directly relates, though it's metaphorical. That's the easiest way to describe it. So one of the ones that I was working on this week is related to the challenges that we all face in life. And let's face it, life is full of challenges and struggles and trials and tribulations, and we always get through them. And until we don't one day, right? And then, we all pay the same price ultimately for this thing we call life. But when we're going through struggles, sometimes it's nice to have a metaphor in our mind or a story in our mind that reminds us that everything faces challenges and we're not alone. The story I was working on this week was one that was about a river. And I was considering the river and all the different challenges. And it's kind of like life, like a human's life. A river is very much like a human's life, I think, much like plants are. But with the river, it starts off strong and vibrant at its source, kind of like we are in childhood and youth. And, in our younger years, we're strong and we're vibrant and we're cutting and carving our path and our way. And along the way, different things get in the way. Tree branches fall in, rocks get in our way. The soil might be too hard to cut through, to carve ourselves. So we kind of have to wind around and twist. And, our path may not be as straight and arrow as we expect or would like it to be, but it's nonetheless, it's winding and much like a river. And just like things that can happen to a river in life, or just like things can happen to us in life, things can happen to a river, right? So maybe that river is winding and twisting through, big cliffs with high cliffs with rocky cliffs, and maybe some sort of weather storm crashes a giant boulder into the middle of the river and stopping it, impeding it, not letting it go past. And now all that water builds up and it rushes around in torrents of water. And that's kind of like the chaos that can happen in our world when unsuspecting traumas or catastrophes or, unexpected challenges show up in our lifetime, in our world, kind of like that boulder falling into the middle of the river. But just like the river, we too, and it too, will ultimately find a way around. It'll go over the rock. It will go around the rock. It will go under the rock. It may carve away part of the bank beside the rock to create a new pathway. And once it gets to the other side, it's nice and relaxed again, and it carries on its way. Ultimately, the river becomes a creek, and the creek becomes a stream. And that stream ultimately finds its way back to yet another ocean, kind of like us in human life. We find our way back to the source. We begin all vibrant and ecstatic, and gradually over time we face these different obstacles and we carve new paths, and we twist. Life is full of twists and turns, and so you can kind of see where I was going with that metaphor. I think it's interesting that so much of our life can be related to the nature around us. I find it comforting to create stories in there. What do you guys do? I'm having trouble with the chat. Just when I think I understand it, I realize that I don't. When Al and I used to work together on Pace, we often Al would run the board, or he'd have the board all set up. So as I would do step 1, 2, and 3, I just had to deliver the content. He would do all the technical behind. And so now doing this on my own, it's a little more unique to find these steps and ways. But we're getting there, and I'm looking at having another producer in the future for the upcoming show. Info is power. There's this fall, you will be able to find me in locations I wasn't expecting to be, and I can't share any of that with you yet, but it is exciting news. So that's the Info is Power series. The Info is Power series is something that I do. If you don't know me, if you're just following me because you follow me on Facebook or you tuned in, but you don't really know what I do. I'm all about pot. Well, yeah, I am a pot preacher, but I'm also a certified practicing hypnotherapist and neurolinguistic programming practitioner, which really sounds funny, right? Like it sounds really woo-woo. It's not. And neurolinguistic programming practitioner is NLP. It means exactly what it sounds like: neural, a brain, linguistic, language, programming. So you're programming your brain with language. And it really is just that. It's how we talk to ourselves. I mean, so many of us realize that we get in our own ways. So many people will say, I just got to figure out a way to get out of my own way. Well, quit being negative to yourself. I remember many moons ago, I had a young lady, and I loved her with all my heart. She was a friend of my daughter's and my daughter-in-law's. And really sweet girl, was going through some different challenges in life, all, part of the growth process. But she was very negative. She spoke very negatively of herself. Oh, I don't know why I do that. Why am I so stupid? I'm so stupid. And I said to her one day, or she had said something to me, and I said, you know what would be the greatest gift of all? And that would be if you gave me 1 year of every time you do say something negative about yourself, you say 3 positive things. Or catch yourself in time and say 1 positive thing. But definitely say something positive instead of negative about yourself, and make that your new habit. Well, great kid. Love her to bits. And that's exactly what she did, is she reprogrammed her brain to say positive things about herself. And in doing so, the progress she made in the coming years was just, along her career path, in her relationships, in so many aspects relating to the quality of life that she was living had changed in a very positive way. We really do manifest, whether it's woo-woo with the universe or it's just because we're programming ourselves, we're convincing ourselves. I mean, we say it all the time. I can talk myself out of just about anything. If I don't want to go somewhere, I can find a million excuses and reasons why I shouldn't go right now. And then I can find 1,000 more to justify that. Isn't that crazy? But I'm not the only one. We're all like that. All of us out here in this land called Humanville. And we talk ourselves in and out of things all the time. Now, imagine if you were talking yourself into taking 1 positive step each day towards a goal you want to achieve. Not running a sprint, not running a marathon, but just talking yourself into 1 positive step each day to reach or achieve a goal. Imagine if you talk yourself into things, other things, you can definitely talk yourself into or out of bad behaviors and into positive change, right? And that's what NLP is at its core. at its core. Now, there's a whole lot of different techniques to help you do that quickly and easily. We talk ourselves in and out of fears all the time. There's so many people that will say to me, I never used to be afraid of flying, for example. And now I'm just terrified, and it's not like anything tragic has happened. Is it because I know ignorance is bliss, right? So is it because I understand now, or I know more details? I don't have the naivety of youth that I once had. And yes, of course it's that. It's your cognitive. The more experience you have, the more yeah buts you get in your brain. And they sit right here. And it's like this little yeah but. And I picture him kind of like Shaw's butt. And he sits there and goes, yeah, but every time you decide you're almost ready to make a decision. So getting past the yeah but, there's all kinds of tools to get there. There's swish, there's mapping over, there's some, working with submodalities, making things brighter and darker. You want to learn more about this? Seriously, just start following me on YouTube, start following me on Instagram, start following me on Facebook, follow me here, wherever it is you're watching right now. And the other thing is too, actually, let me put that up. I have a link here. If you guys want subscribe using this link, I made a short link because it was like this long, right? But if you guys subscribe there at that link, or go to my website and you'll find it on any of the blog posts, you can download a free handbook, which has some of, like the very basic techniques of how to talk yourself into something, or how to talk yourself out of something. And that could be the amount of anxiety you're having in relation to something, or the amount of pain that you're feeling. Pain is such a unique thing, but there are great tools to dial it down, or and dial up excitement. So anxiety and excitement live so close together that if you dial down the anxiety and dial up the excitement, and you're doing them both at the same time, guess what happens? You trick your brain into doing something you didn't think you could do. And once you've done it once, you can do it again. And once you do it twice, guess what? You've created a pattern. And once you created a pattern, all you have to do is repeat it again and again and again, and it'll become a habit. And that is how we retrain our brain. And that's what I write about, talk about, and do all week. The blogs, there's a blog that comes out, I believe it's on Mondays that the blog is published. Because I pre-schedule everything, I don't really remember everything. My brain kind of compartmentalizes. But the blog is on Monday, I believe. And you can find that at www.greenirene.ca. And each week I pick a particular topic or subject related to health and wellness, and how tools like cannabis, specific strains or specific methods of consumption, or a combination of strains and consumption methods, along with hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming. Excuse me, my goodness. Thank you. Yes. So what I was saying was, some people say, why hypnosis? Well, hypnosis is a way of taking that yeah but dude that sits here and putting him at rest. Like just saying, okay, buddy, you know what? I really appreciate your work and effort, but can you take a break right now? Because I need to do something else, and I don't need you here for that. It's time for you to rest. So you just kind of relax the yeah but, and you go past that critical thinking process, and you allow your imagination to work just like you did when you were a child. Different neurons fire in your brain. Different parts of your brain are activated. Hypnosis is a science. And I mean, if you're curious about the science, about the neurological science that goes along with hypnosis, look for an upcoming info workshop, because I will be discussing the science of hypnosis in brief. You want detailed information or an education on the subject, you have to go somewhere else. I'm just going to share with you what I know. That peer-to-peer stuff, right? Sharing is caring. So the science behind, so like we could learn things so quickly, like little sponges when we were kids, right? You ever look at how quickly little kids, and it's because they don't have the critical faculties developed or actively developed at this point and at different stages in life. So in hypnosis, we go to that childlike primal brain and we allow it to act like a sponge to everything we're talking about. And when we talk in metaphor, using the powerful tools and techniques of neurolinguistic programming, what happens is we learn everything really, really quickly. Whatever program it is that we're trying to install gets installed. It like bypasses all the red tape, all the regulations that as we grow older, as we mature, we start putting rules and regulations in front of ourselves, right? And hypnosis helps us to bypass those rules and regulations and just go straight to the learning part. Just wire those neurons together. Many of us have heard the expression, neurons that fire together, wire together. And that's exactly how it works. So I think that really does tell you a whole lot more about Healthy Self workshops, right? If you want to know more, definitely go to my website, check it out. Tickets will be on sale soon for different regions and different areas. And those tickets, I believe, I'm pretty sure, you know what? I will double check, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be on sale at Eventbrite. Okay, so yes, the in-person workshops tickets will be on sale at Eventbrite in coming weeks. Again, tuning in to check out, the Sunday night sesh where I just kind of go the verbal diarrhea and I dump, what I've done this week, what's coming up next week. I'll be sharing the dates and locations. In addition to that, I am producing the once a month, the free workshop, which is a general information workshop. And that I believe the marketing or the promotions for the month of May, the workshop in May. And I will be starting up anytime. In fact, possibly this week. If not, I believe it's this weekend coming. All of the promotions and the promotional campaign begins. And that's for the Healthy Self workshop. That is free. It's a general information free workshop online. One of the first webinars that I have done in probably about 10 years. So hopefully it goes off without glitches. And if there's glitches, I'm just going to pretend they're not glitches and just carry on. So I hope that works for y'all. And we can talk about any issues afterwards or during the event if you are tuned in. But the seating is limited, even though it's digital and it's a webinar. Seating is limited. I believe the seating is 25 open seats at this moment in time. If we find that there is a higher demand for these workshops, we'll certainly increase the seating capacity and do what is necessary. It just, at this point in time, we figure 25 is a good intro and opening. Right. So what can you expect coming up? Well, I'll be back again next Sunday. I will be here just shooting the shit on a Sunday night sesh. I will be, there is an article coming out tomorrow at www.greenirene.ca. That's the blogs, come out on Monday. On Wednesday, check out the 420 showcase. It is, this week. Okay, now remember, there are certain things I can and cannot say. So the things I can say, I'm definitely saying with a lot of okay. But there's a lot of things that I can't say. Like I cannot say, you know what, you really should try this. I can't say that. I can't tell you to go and buy something somewhere. But I can tell you where I got it from. I can tell you where I know a friend got it from, but I can't tell you where you can find it. All right. So you get the point. But that'll be on Wednesday, the 420 showcase. Sorry, guys, dry throat. So yeah, 420 showcase on Wednesday on the YouTube channel here. On Friday, what happens on Friday? Why do I feel like something happens on Friday? I don't know. I feel like something does, but it's not coming to me. Sweet OG, my friends. Fantastic strain. You want to know a little bit more about it? Just look it up in Google. Just type in Sweet OG strain, and it'll, you know what? It'll tell you all about it. And I can honestly say, this is homegrown. It's a very nice strain. It is, I believe, around 26 to 28% on average, depending on who's growing it and how long it's been on the shelf. 28% THC. The CBD isn't worth speaking of. I don't know if it's ever been tested for any other cannabinoids. And I'm not sure what the terpenes are. I didn't look it up. Not yet anyway. Yeah, let's just see here. Yeah, no, it doesn't say off the top. So, I mean, I would have to, but it does make you a little bit talkative. But the thing I like about it the most is that my muscles immediately release tension, right? You know, all the tension's released. And in a few more moments, I'm going to be relaxed enough to just close my eyes, do some meditation, and slip into sleep mode. That being said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in this week. Again, I will be back next week. I'm Green Irene. For those of you who don't already know me, I'm sure you do. And I'm always going, I'm Green Irene. I'm Green Irene. I'm Green Irene. All right. I'm hoping to get some more interaction in these segments. In the comments section is where, and that's on Facebook or on YouTube. You will find the link for each show so that if you'd like to, you can join me on screen. Just click that link. You'll show up on the board, and I can let you in and say, hey, hi, how you doing? In addition to that, you can catch all of these, of course, afterwards as recorded. Yeah, I guess that's it. So till next week, friends. Keep lit. Ciao for now.